My home is nestled in a charming small town where old-fashioned traditions and close-knit communities still hold strong. Surrounded by the majestic Canadian Rockies, every street is lined with picturesque homes bursting with unique character. At the heart of it all stands a historic clock tower, its aged face proudly displaying the passing generations and timeless traditions of our town. In the bustling town square, people gather to chat and share laughter while children chase each other joyfully. And as I look out at the breathtaking landscape of the Canadian Rockies from any vantage point, I am reminded of nature's grandeur that surrounds us on all sides. Time has carved its way through the worn streets, each step leaving a trace of belonging and nostalgia in its wake. The air is thick with the sense of familiarity, as if every corner holds a piece of someone's story. In this tightly knit community, doors were once left unlocked at night, a sign of the unshakable trust and safety that existed among neighbors. Every person's name and story are woven together into a tapestry of shared experiences, creating a bond that runs deeper than just being neighbors. This is a place where care and kindness are not just words thrown around, but a way of life ingrained in every action and interaction. But that all changed when the strange occurrences began. It started with whispered rumors of shadowy figures seen lurking in the forest at night, their silhouettes dancing in the moonlight like ghosts. Then came reports of missing pets and livestock, their tracks leading into the woods but never returning. The once tight-knit community now lived in constant fear, their homes barricaded and windows shuttered against any potential danger that lurked in the dark. Every rustle of leaves or snap of a twig sent shivers down their spines as they peered out from behind locked doors, wondering what horrors lay waiting outside. The unsettling events of the past few days had been nothing more than a minor annoyance, until the night my loyal companion Jojo went missing right under my nose. The sun was setting in a blaze of golden hues as we strolled near the edge of the tree line, and I decided to let Jojo off his leash to roam freely for a bit. Breathing in the fresh, crisp air, I closed my eyes momentarily only to snap them open at the sound of a sudden yelp. My heart thudded against my chest as I frantically scanned my surroundings, only to find that Jojo was nowhere in sight. Panic rising within me, I strained my ears and could hear faint sounds of struggling coming from the forest just beyond the trees. My mind raced with fear and worry as I bolted towards the direction of the noises, determined to find my loyal companion and bring him back home safely. So under the cloak of night, I ventured into the forest to confront whatever lurked within its depths. The dense forest was shrouded in darkness, with only slivers of moonlight piercing through the thick canopy. Shadows danced around the trees, making it hard to distinguish reality from imagination. The ground was covered in fallen leaves and twigs, creating a crunching underfoot that echoed in the stillness. The eerie silence was broken only by the rustling of leaves and occasional hoot of an owl. My own footsteps felt amplified in the quiet, every step sending a chill up my spine. The wind whispered through the trees, creating an unsettling howl that seemed to follow me wherever I went. I frantically searched through the dense forest, my heart hammering against my chest as I realized I was hopelessly lost. The thick canopy of trees loomed over me, casting dark shadows that seemed to reach out and grab at me. My breath came in ragged gasps as panic set in, realizing I couldn't find a way out no matter how hard I tried. Desperation consumed me as I stumbled through the endless maze of trees, their gnarled branches clawing at my skin. With each passing moment, my hope dwindled until it was almost gone, leaving only fear and uncertainty in its wake. As my vision blurred and the world began to fade around me, I could hear his voice piercing through the darkness. Jojo was close. I saw him, lying on the ground in a pool of blood, barely clinging to life. My legs moved swiftly as I reached out and took him into my arms, cradling his limp body. The metallic scent of blood filled my nostrils, causing a knot to form in my stomach. My eyes frantically scanned his body, searching for any signs of injury. But before I could even process what had happened, the sound echoed and swirled around me, accompanied by a low, guttural growl that sent shivers down my spine. It was like a primal warning, a signal of danger lurking in the shadows. My mind struggled to hold on to consciousness as the growl grew louder and more menacing, drowning out all other sounds. Fear gripped at my chest, and I fought against the darkness that threatened to consume me. I lay as still as I could, barely daring to breathe, as the creature drew closer. The leaves around me rustled softly under its weight, creating a sinister melody that made my heart race with terror. Jojo's whimpering intensified, his fear palpable in the air. My grip on the ground tightened, my knuckles turning white with the effort to remain hidden. A foul stench wafted through the air, causing my stomach to churn in revulsion. It was a putrid scent of decay and malice that seemed to seep into my very bones. The creature's heavy footsteps echoed in my ears, each one sending shockwaves of dread through my body. I risked a peek through the veil of leaves, my eyes widening in horror at the sight before me. The creature was monstrous, its massive form illuminated by the faint moonlight filtering through the canopy above. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, filled with a hunger that sent chills down my spine. As it walked closer to our hiding spot, I knew that we were no match for such a fearsome beast. Sweat beaded on my forehead, mixing with the dirt and grime that covered my skin. I prayed silently for a miracle, a way out of this nightmare that had become all too real. But as the creature's gaze swept over the pile of leaves where Jojo and I hid, I knew that our time was running out. With a guttural growl that shook me to my very core, it raised its clawed hand and reached towards us, ready to strike. In the blink of an eye, the creature's hand shot through the leaves, its gargantuan paw closing around Jojo with a brutal force. A blood-curdling yelp escaped his lips as the creature lifted him into the air, preparing to tear him apart. My heart shattered into 1,000 pieces as I watched him struggle in its grasp, his eyes wide with terror, when suddenly a deafening gunshot pierces the air, temporarily blinding me as I struggle to see through the dense foliage. My heart races as I catch a glimpse of Jojo's small form being violently thrown to the ground. The creature's arm is now oozing dark red blood, staining its fur in the moonlight. The townspeople's torches cast an eerie glow on the forest, shadows dancing menacingly and highlighting the massive beast before us. Its eyes widen in shock and pain as it clutches its wounded arm, its fur matted and glistening with blood. The sound of crunching leaves and breaking twigs fills the air as the townsfolk close in, their faces twisted with fear and rage. Despite my weakening body, I can still make out their determined expressions as they tower over us. The creature's large form retreats into the darkness, its injured arm hanging limply at its side. Without hesitation, the townspeople give chase, their weapons glinting ominously in the dim light. As I slowly fade away into oblivion, I am at peace with my fate, knowing that justice will be served for my fallen companion.